Hi everyone. I know you all can't see me, but my name is Kirsty. I'm the founder of the Nana Project, and you know that we are an organization that is committed to sharing the first-hand accounts of Ghana's history through the perspectives of the people that lived through it. And today we are talking to Mr. Yao Atuahene, who lived in Libya from September 1982 to May 1987. We're doing this in light of the situation in Libya right now, where a lot of West Africans are being sold as slaves. And so we're going to talk to, he's my uncle, so I'll call him Uncle Yao, about his time there. So we'll go ahead and get started. So why did you go to Libya?
Well, when there's just to earn some money so that I can go back to Ghana to start some projects.
Did you think you would be in Libya as long as you were?
Well, I was expected. I wanted to be there for about 2 to 3 years, but stay a little bit longer just to earn, a bit more to do my projects. Yeah.
And what were things like in Ghana that you decided to leave?
Well, that Rollins had just taken over, and we didn't know how things were going to be. And of course, being in Ghana, we were following up. Many of our friends had left, gone abroad, and we heard that Libya was a good country, well, in terms of money wise. So I decided to have a go at that, have a go at it.
And where did you live?
I live in Tripoli. I mean,
In Libya,
in
yeah.
Libya,
Yeah.
when I first went, I lived in Tripoli, in just a suburb of Tripoli. Yeah, I had a job in a school, so they gave us free accommodation. That was the time. Sometimes when you go there, normally the people give you a place to live. Then that's the yeah. Mm-hmm.
So what did you do in the school? Like, what was your job while you were in Libya?
Well, believe me, I'll train myself as a chef.
Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Did you do any other jobs while you were there, or you were a chef for the?
Well, I did some manual work before, when the opportunity as chef came. So I did it so that I could earn more money.
Was it only West Africans who were traveling to Libya during this time?
Uh, we made some few, what's it called? Some few North Africans, yeah, Tunisians and Algerians and Moroccans, yeah, and a lot of Maltese, yeah, and of course there were a lot of Nigerians and Ghanaians, so, especially where I work. We had some group of Ghanaians that we all live together.
And did you travel to Libya by yourself or with other people?
I traveled to other friends. To other friends.
And did you all live and work together?
Fortunately, we all had the same company took us, so we were very fortunate. So we stuck together.
You said
for about 2 years. Then
okay.
Then I went to another place, and my other friend, that's it. I don't know where the other one left, but my closest friend, he left and came to UK.
Okay.
And now I'm living in America.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so you said a company arranged for you to go, or how did you get there?
How did we get there? We just went for the visa. And we just asked. We told the guy that we just want to go and visit. So he gave us the visa, and we went. But we were fortunate when we went. Some friends introduced us to these certain companies. It was what do you call it? It was a catering hotel company, and at that time they were recruiting workers, and we were fortunate they took all three of us.
So, what was your life like living in Libya as a West African during this time, or as a Ghanaian during this time?
Oh, we didn't experience, but because we're in a group of Africans, with the same culture and everything, we're quite happy, even though we're working 6 days a week. Yeah, but back home it was 5 days. You have Sunday, Saturday, Sunday. Over there we were just having Friday because it's an Arab country. But apart from that, we didn't experience any other hardship. Yeah.
So does the situation in Libya now, is that surprising to you, or was
It is. Even though when we went there, the sanctions had already started because of Libya's involvement in what do you call it, international terrorism.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so things were hard. So you go to the shops and they were empty. The only thing you could find were children's clothing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but with ladies and grown up things, it was not in existence, and yeah, shops were empty. Shops were empty. Yeah.
Was it it wasn't dangerous at all, was
No,
it?
it wasn't
Okay.
dangerous. No. It wasn't dangerous at all.
Sorry.
It wasn't dangerous at all. There was peace and harmony. Because what can I say that time? I think Gaddafi has just taken over. So, or not long after. Yeah, Gaddafi has taken over, and it wasn't dangerous at all. It wasn't. It wasn't.
So what was there? What was it like living under Gaddafi then during that time? I guess you just said it's peaceful, but there wasn't
very
any.
Peaceful. It was
Okay.
very peaceful, even though. Yeah, to me it was peaceful because we had drivers who were driving around the country, and driving miles and miles and miles, and we didn't hear anything that people are being kidnapped or murdered, or it wasn't there at that time. We didn't experience anything like that. We never heard that these people have been killed or those have been killed. We never experienced that.
What was that happening though?
It wasn't happening.
Okay.
It wasn't happening.
Okay.
It wasn't happening. No.
Did you ever see Gaddafi speak or like, in person?
I never saw him in person, but because just outskirts of Tripoli,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes we hear that Gaddafi was in town, was in the main city, but we couldn't because it was far, even though we just outskirts of Tripoli, but it was a bit far, so we couldn't see. But yeah, it was visiting Tripoli. We never knew where his base was.
Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, what was some of the hardest things about living there? I know when we've talked about this as uncle and niece, you've said that even though it was peaceful there, that it was hard. So, what made it hard?
What made it hard? Well, as I'm saying, that time it just because of their strict.
Mm.
Who were strict Muslim rules. We coming from Ghana, we could mingle with anybody, with women, with grown-ups, with children, but there, you can't go into a house and you see a woman.
Mm-hmm.
You see, yeah. But apart from that, that was it. I don't think there was any in the 80s. I don't think there was anything that difficult apart from not going to the shops and not. Sometimes you couldn't. Basic commodities essential commodities were very difficult to come by. Very difficult to come by because I remember there were times when. I had to go and queue, especially when I was in Benghazi around 80. We have to go and queue for bread. to buy. Yeah, yeah. Because the sanctions were, hitting them very, very hard.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So the those basic things were very difficult to come by.
And what was the relationship between Libyans and the West African migrants who were living there? Because, I mean, part of the reason why...
That's what I'm saying. When Gaddafi was there was no hard feelings between Libyans and West Africans. We were getting along very well. I quite remember when we went there, Ghana had just won the African Cup of Nations in Libya. So we were, even though we beat Libya in the finals, but I remember when we arrived at the airport, they asked us, you Ghana? We said, yes, Ghana, quiz, which means Ghana, good. Yeah, because they were praising us for winning the African Cup of Nations.
Mm-hmm.
So they were very happy with Ghanaians and Nigerians and everybody who were living there and working with them.
Okay.
There were no, as far as I can remember, during those years in the 80s,
Mm-hmm.
there was nothing at all.
Okay.
Yeah. That's not at all.
So why did you decide to leave Libya then?
Oh, that I went to Libya. I'm married, and then I got married, and I had to join my wife. that was the reason. Mm-hmm. I had to leave, and of course things were things were getting hard because of the sanction. The economy was getting down a bit. Yeah, when we first went, our salary, we were paid in dinars, that's the Libyan dinars, their local currency, and when we first went, 90% of our salary were being transferred into our bank accounts,
Mm-hmm.
90%. And then later on it came to, I think 70, and then it reduced to 50.
Mm-hmm.
Into accounts as a foreign money, and then the other 50 into Libyan dinars. And
Mm-hmm.
that time dinar couldn't do anything, or you couldn't spend the Libyan dinar anywhere. So salary wise, our money was going down.
Okay.
Yeah, so it wasn't as good as before.
Okay.
Yeah, that was why. It wasn't good as before.
So after you left Libya, did you keep in touch with any friends that were still there, or?
I didn't.
Okay.
I didn't. But when I left, two of my friends later on left and came over here.
Okay.
Yeah, and that was it. But the rest of them, we all went to our separate ways.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And so with Gaddafi, with things being peaceful, but also economically difficult during that time.
Difficult for them, yeah, economically it was
Mm-hmm.
very difficult for them.
Did Gaddafi's overthrow, was that a surprise to you, or is that something you saw coming?
Yeah, so it's something I saw coming. Because
Okay.
when I was here, I was reading and following what was happening in Gaddafi.
Mm-hmm.
And, I think with all African leaders,
Mm-hmm.
they always want to be in charge, and be hard on their people, and understand things were not good, and the economy was getting very, very bad.
Mm-hmm.
Getting bad, yeah. And I think some section of the country wanted to be, didn't want to be part of Libya.
Mm-hmm.
It was, I've forgotten which, was it Benghazi or something like that? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I mean, I think that's. Well, I wasn't surprised because
Okay.
things were getting hard.
Okay.
Yeah, even though sanctions had been lifted a bit, but I think it was, let me say, like all African leaders, it was within the family.
Mm-hmm.
That, yeah, we were ruling and enjoying the riches of the country. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Was Tripoli the only place you lived in?
I went to Benghazi.
And how long were you there?
I was in Benghazi for I think about 6 months.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, now I was there when American and British forces bombed Libya, Tripoli and Benghazi. I was there.
And
I heard everything.
wait, so
Yeah.
what? I mean, did you know that was happening? Was there any warning or?
Well, I think we knew something was going to happen because we had access to some foreign Maltese radio. So, but it took us by surprise. Yeah. One night I was there and, we heard the boom, 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 boom. So neighbors came to my door, knocked and said I should turn off my lights. And we heard everything. Heard all the bombings.
I mean, where did you hide?
Oh, we stayed indoors.
Okay.
We stayed indoors. Because I think they targeted to they targeted some buildings.
Government buildings?
Government buildings.
Okay.
Government buildings, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what was it like the next day?
Next day, well, we went and saw a crater where a bomb, we saw the crater where some of the bombs hit.
Mm-hmm.
We went and saw it.
And
the people were just, we were just walking around it. That's, yeah. I think they knew something like that was going to happen, so the Libyans themselves were not surprised.
Okay. Mm-hmm. And for you as a migrant, that didn't...
It didn't. That's what I'm saying. Even though the neighbors knew that I was a foreigner, but when the bombing started, they came to my door and said I should turn off my lights.
Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So they had no hard feelings for any migrants or anything. Yeah.
But you weren't concerned for your safety after that, or thought like maybe I should...
I don't think that didn't come into my mind.
Okay.
It didn't come into my mind.
Okay, so these bombings happened how long before you left?
I think I've got the actual month, but I left, I think it happened towards the end of 86 or something like that. And I left in 87.
Mm-hmm.
I've got the actual year.
Okay. Okay. Well, those are the questions that I have. I don't know if anyone who's watching has any questions they want to ask, but I guess, is there anything that you want to share about that I didn't ask about your time in Libya and then what's going on there now?
Well, right now what's going on is that was my time. I even though it was 4 years of, in terms of any money, it was, but in terms of enjoyment or leisure, that wasn't there because we forgo all the pleasures we had in Ghana, and we just went there, and the people were nice. Honestly, I can't say they were bad people. The people were very nice. We had some in our company. We had some Libyan officials who were very helpful anytime we want to travel, because there, when you go, as soon as you go, your passport, when you use the word seize, all I say is they'll take your passport from you. They'll keep the passport in their office, and when you travel, wherever you want to go, they will go and get the visa for you. And also, before you can leave Tripoli or before you can leave Libya, you have to get exit and re-entry visa. They give you the time to leave and the time to come back.
Okay.
Yeah. So when you go and you overstay, let's say if they give you come back to Tripoli or to Libya by 1st December, and you come on 2nd December, they will not allow you to enter.
Okay.
Yeah, they won't allow you to enter. But if you have a very, very good job or not, your entry visa has expired. So that's your own. Yeah. So those people were taking care of that, and they'll buy your ticket. The company will buy a ticket and get your visa for you to travel. But right now, the situation I've been following on CNN, and it's really, really alarming. I think it's all because of the overthrow of Gaddafi, because he was in charge with iron fist. So the people who didn't have that power to do now. So the whole country is divided into tribal groups. Everybody wants to be their own boss, or they want to rule their own region. So that's what is happening now. Yeah. And I don't know why the slavery. I just don't know why they're doing that. I just really don't know why. You know. But I think yesterday I heard guys saying because of now they don't have many people to work for them, so they're buying these slaves to go and work on their farms. Yeah, to go and work on their farms, and they're building. They're doing a lot of constructions over there. They do, yeah, so slaves will go and do those jobs at cheap labor, isn't it? Or no money, no payment at all. Yeah, yeah. That's what is happening.
So looking back on your life in the 4 years or 4.5 years you spent in Libya, do you feel like it was worth it, that it was better to be in Libya than in Ghana?
Well, it's an experience. Yeah, it's an experience. And I wouldn't do it again anyway. I wouldn't do it again.
Why not?
I'm not going to say I wasted time there, but what I'll say is I wouldn't do it now. I wouldn't advise anybody to do it because of, cultural differences. Yeah, God, with that time we didn't know. We just went in for the money. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, but just big cultural differences. That if you're not, I know people came in and within 1 year they'll leave because of all those things. But I was determined to stay there and achieve what I was aiming for.
Did you did you achieve it?
Well, what I wanted to do, I did do. Yeah, but I wanted to do something back home, which I did do. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I want any of my friends go well right now. Libya's. Nobody. Though still people do go. Yeah. But I won't tell anybody. I won't advise anybody to go there.
Well, thank you very much for taking the time to speak with me about your experience. And I would encourage anyone who's watching this to talk to your parents or your aunts, your uncles, your grandparents. They probably know somebody who went to Libya during the 80s when a lot of people were leaving Ghana to go to other African countries. We all know Nigeria was one of the main places that the Ghanaians would go during that time, and Libya was also one. So talk to your family members about their experiences. And Uncle, you had.
Can I ask something else? Yeah. Look, when you were there, so many of our friends came through the desert. Came through the desert, and they had a very. It's just equivalent to what is happening now. People going through the sea and getting drowned and everything. Our time, people going through from Niger, then they walk through the desert to some part of Libya, and they were leaving people to die.
And were these people, were they going on their own, or people were taking them?
People were guiding them.
Okay.
Yeah, people were guiding them. Just like people taking people on the boat, somebody will come and say, I'll take you across the Mediterranean to Italy. There are people there, I'll take you across the desert to a certain town in Libya. Yeah, what my friends were telling me was on their way they could see a lot of dead bodies. And apart from that, they left a lot of people behind, because when you're tired or you can't go anymore, they just leave you behind and you die.
They were walking through the desert.
They're walking through the desert. People walk through the desert. People walk through day and night. Because, in the desert, heavy, with the heat,
Mm-hmm.
if you don't get enough water, that's it.
So how did you avoid?
No, I didn't go through the desert.
Yeah,
No,
how
no,
did
no.
how?
I went through. I went by air. Yeah, from Lagos to Tripoli. Mm-hmm.
Did you? I mean, did you just know about the safer route, and then that's why you didn't?
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, the desert was, and I would have never. I would never do that.
Okay.
I would have never done that. Yeah.
So your friends who went through the desert to get to
Some
Libya,
friends who went through the desert.
why did that was just their only option, or?
I think that was the option because air was expensive. Yeah, fly, yeah. Mm-hmm. That was there. You pay that. I don't think it was that much. You pay something little to them, and they will guide you. Yeah, but desert was not an option for me and my friends.
Mm-hmm.
We saved enough money to go by air.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Uncle, for taking the time. And like as I was saying, if talk to your relatives, talk to your elders about their experience. If they probably know someone who went through this. They might know someone going through this right now. So talk to the people in your family about their experiences. You never know what you might learn. I had no idea that my uncle went through bombings in both Tripoli and Benghazi during his time in Libya. So thank you all for watching. To learn more about the Nana Project, you can visit our website at thenanaproject.org. We're here on Instagram. We're also on Facebook and Twitter. So feel free to send us any old photos, any videos. As you can see, it's not very difficult. All you need is a elder who is willing to participate, and you can just ask them questions about their life. So thank you all for watching, and let's keep paying attention to what's going on in Libya and put pressure on our African governments, the African Union, to bring the migrants home, and let's get justice for these migrants in Libya, because this is what's going on there is horrendous. So thank you all.